I went to the doctor for something completely different, my GP, in the November, and I'd noticed that I was a little bit lumpy in my groin.
I woke up one morning with a small lump on my jaw, neck, and went into panic mode, as you do. Went to the doctor to see what it was.
And it just went from there, because the man who took the ultrasound said, well, you've got enlarged lymph nodes, and could he take a biopsy there and then? And it just sort of snowballed, and within 3 weeks I'd seen all the various people, and then saw Simon at the end of that and was diagnosed, with the Mantle Cell Lymphoma.
Well, you can imagine that's quite a tough thing to accept.
It was a shock, obviously, to start with, and that did take a little while to sort of sink in.
So they don't give you a prognosis of how long you're going to live, because they actually don't know. But what they do is they tell you what the median average is. So at 50% of people were alive after about 7 years, 8 years when I started here. It now seems to be about 12 years.
When I went on the ibrutinib, and 7 years later I'm still on it, and everything's fine.
And then there's an add-on treatment at the end where you continue to take a drug called rituximab for 2 years, which I've just finished, and that's meant to, they think, add life, which is all we're really after.
It worked. Within 6 months I was clear, and the lumps went literally within very, very short space of time.
I've been coming back here every 2 months for the next 2 years, the last 2 years, and this is my first appointment today that I have no treatment.
And we don't know how long I will continue to be clear for, and I'm 11 years on since being diagnosed.
The nursing staff at this hospital are incredible. There's no two ways about it, and the ward was unbelievable.
I call them my lymphoma family, or my lymph family. It really is lovely. I mean, just to know the care that we get, there's nothing is too much trouble.
I have a huge thank you to all of them, Simon's team, Nikki, all the nurses in the transplant ward, and Birch. They've all been incredible, and I felt always in incredibly safe hands. And in fact, when people talk to me about my condition, these are people outside of Derriford, etc., just friends. One of the things I always say is that I talk about Simon and his team and how thankful I am that they happen to be down here.
It just means everything. I mean, we're obviously in the right place at the right time with the right person. When Simon told us that when I first met him, that this was his area of expertise, and we thought, wow, how fortunate can you be? And of course, over the years, I've seen people that have been sent from different parts of the country to see him, so we know that he really is, the best person to see. And we are very fortunate to be where we are.
I lead a completely normal life. I feel better than I did before I started my treatment, when I didn't even realise I was ill.
So thank you, Simon, and the team.